Welcome back everyone to Showbiz India, and it is indeed my pleasure today to welcome Ranbir Kapoor to New York City and to Showbiz India. It's great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely my pleasure. I'm a lucky girl. I've been able to see him 3 days in a row. You've been on non-stop. Last night the crowds were just maddening. I actually happened to be the MC last night, and the crowds all day long, all they were waiting for was Ranbir Kapoor. How did you feel when you stepped on that stage?
Well, it's really surreal because I've grown up coming to New York twice a year. I lived here for 4 years, spent so much of time on Times Square. Have our own festival, Diwali, being celebrated on Times Square with such a large audience, and then especially so many people recognizing you and giving you so much of love and support. It's very heartwarming. The feeling was really amazing.
You've done a lot of prolific work with a lot of varied roles. You said you're shy. How are you? Which character do you think you relate to the most?
I think out of the 10 movies that I've done, I think Wake Up Sid was a character I can relate to because I was that person at some point in my life. I was aimless, I was a slacker, so yeah, that's one character I really relate to. Characters like the character I played in Rockstar or Burfi are people I haven't met. Are people who are so far removed from even the kind of characters I've seen on screen, and I think a lot of it was derived from the director, so I think all the credit must go to them. But Wake Up Sid is a guy who I have been, so I can say that I've lived that life.
Does that mean you had a crush on an older person?
Yes, who hasn't? Everybody has that graduate story in their lives.
Well, let's talk about your role in Besharam. It's supposed to be an out-and-out comedy film, something that you haven't attempted before. Tell me about your character.
Well, my character, I play a car thief called Bubbly. He's a bit over-the-top, loud, flamboyant, vulgar, repulsive, with a heart of gold. It was a little hard playing this part because I've usually played the underdog and the under-hero, and actually to be the hero and to do things flamboyant and larger than life doesn't come that easy to me. So I think the director really had to instill a lot of confidence and self-belief. Okay, I can do this, I can do this. So hopefully, I've tried a new genre, I've tried a new character. Hopefully the audience will like it.
And what was perhaps your most favorite part of this film?
I think sharing screen space with my parents. It's of course, every child would say that. But not because they're just my parents, because they're such wonderful actors. When we were on set, there was never a moment that I felt that I'm working with my mother or my father. They just, slipped into their characters. They really believed in the film and really got to learn so much just watching them.
Now, you shared a story that was very heartening a little earlier, where you talked about when you first looked into the eyes of your father. Can you relay that to our audience?
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking. Just the thought of that, and I had to kind of confront him in that scene. So it was. I was very nervous, but when I did it, because he was so much into his character and he's such a giving actor, he really wants to do his best even today after 40 years. He's so passionate and excited that you immediately just react to him, and the moment just works.
And how did it feel like when you first faced a scene with your mother?
Well, I was parenting my mother more. I was telling her what to do and what not to do. Say this line like this, do that. And she was a little nervous because she's acting after such a long time, and very excited because she was acting with a son, her husband. But it was fun, trying to mentor her and direct her a bit.
How sweet. Let's talk about your very illustrious grandfather, Mr. Raj Kapoor. He's the legend. What are some of your memories, the fondest memories of your grandfather for you?
Well, I was his first grandson, so he was really close to me. I was very young, so I don't remember much. I was 6 years old when he passed away. But he's been the most influencing and inspiring factor of my life. A lot of my notions about cinema and acting has come from his earlier work. I remember there was a time that whenever my mother used to shout at me or be angry with me, I should just pick up the phone and call him, and he used to call my mother and shout at her. So I used that to my advantage. But I think I've known him more through his movies than the personal relationship that I have.
Of course, he's got an amazing body of work.
Absolutely.
As an actor, producer, and director. Which ones would you say are his favorite films for you?
My absolute favorites would be Shri 420, which is my absolute favorite film in the world of movies, and I would say Mera Naam Joker and Jaagte Raho.
And what about your father?
A big fan, of him as an actor. I would say Karz, Chandni, and Zamane Ko Dikhana.
And you know, I have to say, I'm a big fan of your mother's work.
Oh, really?
I thought she was such a spontaneous actress. I loved her growing up. So, what are your favorite films of your mom? She's
I'm a little shy about my mother working with anyone except my father, so I always shied away from her movies. But I think of earlier work with my father, like Khel Khel Mein, Rafu Chakkar, Kabhi Kabhi. I thought she was really, really endearing, natural, and sweet.
Now, we talked about the fact you actually came to New York and you studied. So, this was something that you knew was your calling all along?
Actually, I came to a film school called School of Visual Arts. I came to study direction, and I did an undergrad direction course because that was my ambition, was to direct a movie. I think acting just came to me because of the opportunities that were coming to me because I was a celebrity child and a star son. So I just took on it, and slowly I started developing a liking towards acting. But I think inside I still harbor an ambition to direct a movie.
Oh, I see. So, do you remember the first time you faced the camera for a film, and how did it feel like? Obviously, it was for Saveria.
Saveria, but I think before that I made so many short films out here. As a student, I used to direct and act, and I was terrible in it. So I'm very ashamed to even speak about it. The movies which will probably go with me in my grave, and I won't show it to a soul.
What about your first time you saw yourself on screen? What was that feeling like?
It was eeks. It was like my stomach was just crawling inside. I could not stand myself on screen.
Why?
I think every actor sees that. They're so critical of your work, of your own work. So I try and just see my movie just once, and I never watch it again after that.
So tell us a very nice anecdote during the making of this film.
Vision?
Yeah.
I think the lunch hours, when everybody used to come together, and my parents used to bring food from home, and my mother used to arrange all these different kind of cuisines, and the director, cinematographer, the assistants, we all used to huddle up and eat, and my father used to talk about days gone by, and his little anecdotes about him working with this actor and that director, and that was really amazing. The times I really cherish.
That's wonderful. Now, we want to know a little bit about the real Ranbir Kapoor. I know all the girls out there want to know. I know you're a shy person. Just the day-to-day things, what do you like to do?
What do I like to do? Well, I like, apart from being on a movie set, I try to vegetate most of the time doing nothing. I lie on my bed staring at my ceiling. I play video games. I play a lot of soccer. I spend time with my family. I go out for dinners. And that's pretty much it. I have a very boring life. I try and make it as colorful on screen. Perception of my life is a little bit more colorful than it actually is. But otherwise, if you really knew me as a person, you would be bored with me in 2 hours.
Oh, I don't think that's true. But in conclusion, for a very successful actor coming from a great lineage, what are the qualities you think take to make a very good actor?
I think you have to have an individualistic approach towards your work. You have to have a definite point of view, which is not colored or inspired or influenced by anybody. And especially for me, because there's so much, large shadows before me, that it was very important that I make my own identity. And beyond that, I feel everyone is an actor, everyone is talented. You just have to kind of channelize your life experiences in the right way. You have to be intelligent to see life, and what you see is what you put in.
Well, it was so wonderful talking to you, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.